Welcome back. We're continuing the news. The Manchester police are reporting an increase in breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act since Prime Minister's recent announcement relaxing some measures. The cops are pleading for residents to comply as they say the resources being used to enforce COVID measures could be used to address more serious crimes.
425 persons have been prosecuted in Manchester alone for breaching the Disaster Risk Management Act. In spite of these numbers, head of the Manchester Police, DSP Lloyd Darby, says people are still not complying. In fact, it's getting worse.
Since the relaxing of measures by the Prime Minister last week, we have seen an uptick in social gatherings, parties, and we continue to be vigilant.
In addressing the Manchester Municipal Corporation recently, DSP Darby explained that while serious crimes, including murders, are down compared to this time last year, the cops have had to adjust policing strategies, shifting resources to enforcing mask-wearing measures and stopping illegal parties and social gatherings. There have been 11 murders in Manchester so far this year compared to 20 last year. The most recent murder was on May 31. The victim, 66-year-old farmer Jackie Wallace of Tiki Tiki District, Colville.
He was discovered at his home in a pool of blood with chop wounds to his face and neck. And information that he was last seen alive the day before, where he was in the community drinking, and he might have been showing off some money, which we believe might be the incentive for persons who went and murdered him later on that evening.
DSP Darby says while that investigation is still ongoing, some of those resources have had to be shared as some people insist on breaching the COVID prevention protocols.
And we just want to continue to ask our citizens to abide by the Disaster Risk Management Act, allow us, the police, to concentrate on our crime situations rather than we having to be behind our citizens to protect, enforcing the law so that they can protect themselves against COVID-19.
Herman Green, TVJ News.
The Dogs Liability for Injuries Act will get its first major test in the coming days or weeks. It follows another dog attack in St. Anne last weekend. It's understood that 61-year-old Bavette Watson Balfour was on her way to work last Saturday in Eltham Ocherius when she was attacked by the dogs sometime after 5 p.m. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says he hopes a strong message is sent to the dog owners with this case.
And it's clear from all that I've heard, it is because the gate was left open and that negligence by whomever, it is quite clear that the owner must face the responsibility and bear the consequence. And I certainly hope that there will be a successful prosecution. And I certainly hope that the victim will also seek compensation.
Miss Watson Balfour was bitten all over in her head, above her eyebrow, on her legs, thighs, arms, and eye. The dogs have since been removed by the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. It comes just 7 months after Michael Allen was mauled by dogs in Alexandria, St. Anne and was rushed overseas for treatment. Now, under the new legislation, a dog owner can be fined from $500,000 to $3 million or imprisonment from 6 months to 15 years as criminal penalties for negligence. Persons using the Brownstone Branch Library in St. Anne are now breathing a sigh of relief. Earlier this month, TVJ News aired the story of students sitting upcoming exams who have been challenged due to the unavailability of internet and printing services offered by the library. Telecoms firm Flow said an investigation in collaboration with the USF and the Jamaica Library Service was launched and the defective devices identified and replaced. The fix has left at least one resident feeling elated.
People around is smiling, especially the younger folks are very much appreciative of the computer and the printer. Brand new printer can attest to that. It is there, brand spanking new, and the internet in space of 12 hours. The internet was at the Brownstown Library. I can't be joyful more. And the people around Brownstown cannot be joyful more. And I give thanks to the listening ears, and I thank the media to expose these things. And I will like for who in authority to just take action, listen to the people.
Now, on a lighter note, Father's Day is being celebrated this Sunday, June 20. Now, our news team took to the streets to ask citizens what Father's Day meant to them.
Well, Father's Day to me is one of the greatest days of the year, because at the day when I recognize the good father them like myself, even though some of the father them don't really do nothing, but it's still a good day. It means the world to me, because guess what? When you have a responsibility and you nurture it and you do it in the best way you can, growing the kids in the right way, it means the world to me. It's like a hero.
Father's Day, it means acknowledging, showing recognition, to my father for what he has done and the role that he has played in my life and helping me to become the person I am today. And for me, that is way personal, because my mommy died when I was 14, so my dad has played a massive role in my life.
Even when I'm having the children, them having difficulty, the father is there for me. Yeah, so I love my father. He's dead and gone, I still love him. 13 years, I still love my father, and I will never forget my father.
Father's Day means the world to me, because I have a dad so loving, so caring. I can't explain, but he's just my dad, and I love him so much.
And for the latest on the economy, here's Javon Keys with the Business Minute.
In the world of manufacturing, President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, Richard Pandohi, raised concerns in a Twitter post about the cost of a container from China. He says the price skyrocketed from $2,500 to $11,500. And with him raising concerns about economic growth and supply chain management, he says focus needs to be on export.
Now, cash flow and cash flow requirements are a big deal. Supply chain disruption all over the world, as world economies recover at different pace, is creating a massive impact on our society. And the businesses out there have to look at it, because your cash flow requirement has now changed, because you have to spend a lot more to buy raw material and to put down. You don't know if you're going to get goods.
Mr. Pandohi was speaking at a business forum recently. The entertainment sector continues to face steep losses amid continued COVID-19 restrictions. Main Event Entertainment Group reported losses of $27.6 million. That's nearly doubling the losses of $15.8 million in the comparative period. The company is, however, remaining optimistic and is exploring new opportunities to grow income. And that's the Business Minute. I'm Javon Keys.
And we now head to a quick break. When we come back, Simon Preston will have your Midday Sports.
Welcome back. It's now time for Midday Sports. I'm Simon Preston. West Ham United's forward Mikel Antonio headlines a list of 4 new players that are part of the Reggae Boyz' provisional 60-man squad for the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup.
Old forward netted 10 goals in 25 appearances as West Ham United secured Europa League football next season. 28-year-old striker Kemar Roof is also in the 60-player pool after scoring 18 goals in 36 appearances for Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. Roof played a pivotal role as Rangers won the league title and will play in the Champions League next season. Holding midfielders Kevin Stewart and Jordan Cousins are also in the mix. Stewart, the former Liverpool player, now plies his trade with Blackpool, while Cousins is currently with Wigan Athletic. The 60-player pool is expected to be condensed to 23 players at the end of June. The 2021 edition of the CONCACAF Gold Cup is slated to run from July 10 to August 1. Jamaica were eliminated at the semi-final stage in 2019. The Reggae Boyz were finalists in 2015 and 2017.
Across the Atlantic we go now, as England will battle Scotland in match 20 of the European Championship at the Wembley Stadium in London today. England clipped Croatia 1-0 in its opener, while Scotland fell 2-0 to the Czech Republic. Kickoff is at 2 o'clock Jamaica time. At sports time, Croatia and the Czech Republic were level at 1-1 in their other Group D encounter. In the early kickoff, Sweden clipped Slovakia 1-0. To South America we go now, as defending champions Brazil have secured back-to-back wins in the Copa America after thumping Peru 4-0 in Rio de Janeiro on Thursday. Alexandro, Neymar, Ribeiro and Richarlison were the goal scorers for the home side, who also secured their passage to the quarter-finals with this result. In the other Group B encounter, Colombia were held to a 0-0 draw by Venezuela. The competition continues this evening as Argentina battles Uruguay at 7 o'clock, while at 4 o'clock Chile faces Bolivia. To cricket we go now, as at sports time South Africa had reached 44 for 3 against the West Indies on day 1 of the second test at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium in St Lucia. The Caribbean side have made 2 changes to the team that fell to South Africa by an innings and 63 runs last week. Shannon Gabriel and Kyron Powell are in for Raheem Cornwall and Jamaican and Nkrumah Bonner. The rest of the 11 reads captain Craig Brathwaite, Shea Hope, Ruston Chase, Kyle Mayers, Jermaine Blackwood, Jason Holder, Joshua Da Silva, Kemar Roach and Jaden Seals. South Africa leads the 2-match test series 1-0. The tour will also comprise 5 T20 internationals. And just before we go, former national footballer and 1998 World Cup representative Paul Hall has been appointed as assistant coach of the Reggae Boyz. We'll have more details in Primetime Sports this evening. And that is it for your Midday Sports Report. I'm Simon Preston. Giovanni, it's over to you.
Well, we're not leaving you just yet, Simon. West Indies have South Africa at 44 for 3. Improved performance so far, or are they just flattering to deceive?
Yes, improvements. We added an additional fast bowler, and especially in the Windward Islands, you get that additional bounce. So it's paying dividends so far, so the hope is that there'll be consistency going into the afternoon session.
What's your prediction for this test?
I think it'll end in a draw.
Here we are now moving on to football. Paul Hall, now an assistant coach. Right. What does he bring to the table?
Well, being an individual that works in the English game, still at Queen's Park Rangers, he'll add that additional element of the tactical side of things. Theodore Tapper Whitmore is known for the motivational element for his players, but the tactical element is going to be crucial as we head into the World Cup qualifiers. And
your thoughts on Jamaica's chances of reaching the World Cup?
The talent is there, it's now time to execute. So definitely top 3, top 4 is within our reach.
It is within our reach. What is not within our reach is going any further, though, because that's the Midday News. I'm Giovanni Dennis. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, the sports, and the production teams, have a good afternoon and an amazing weekend.